Alright, hey everybody, I'm back with a vlog number 2. I'm going to keep this one pretty brief because the last one ran pretty long, so I'll make this one pretty quick. This week's been good. Energy wise, I felt pretty decent. Aside from the afternoons, usually I'm okay before probably around lunchtime. It depends on what I've been doing for the day. If I've got to go into the field and do salamander collections, means I'm up at 3 to make it to the gym. So usually those days kind of drag, especially in the fact that I only get 2 meals in before I hit the field and then 1 in the field. So usually by that day I'm falling asleep in the car ride home. But on days I'm in school, which are Tuesdays and Thursdays, I get a little extra sleep and work out in the afternoon, so that's pretty good. So energy wise I've been pretty decent. I have noticed that I'm still feeling the effects of low testosterone. Overall general fatigue. Now when I say my energy levels have been good, part of that's because I've been drinking caffeine, which I don't usually do, and another part of that is it's all relative. Before, I shouldn't say before, but generally overall I'm pretty tired most of the time. Like right now it's like 8:10 and I'm already starting to get sleepy for bed. I still got one more meal to eat before I go to bed. But yeah, workouts have been surprisingly good. I've somehow, kept my intensity super high, even with being somewhat fatigued and my schedule kind of flopping around. I did legs today, and usually there's several workouts that I have a sort of love-hate relationship for. Chest is 1, legs are 2, and the shoulders are 3. Shoulders are kind of the least love-hate because they're pretty decent. My shoulders are actually okay, just from past experience of swimming, so they were okay. But chest is a really lagging body part for me, and I love to work it, I'm not going to lie. I really do like, slapping on some dumbbells and throwing them around, but it's so lagging that I get really, I feel really down about the weights I'm moving and stuff like that. I know it's not, weights are irrelevant if you, or from a bodybuilding standpoint, it's really more about time under tension and stimulating the muscle, but I do feel sort of down in the fact that I can't really keep up with most people. So it's a love-hate relationship there. And then with legs is pretty much the biggest love-hate relationship of all. Love to work legs. Love blasting them. They're a good body part for me. They grow pretty well, or at least maintain pretty well. And so I love hitting them. The problem is I push so hard during my leg workouts, it ruins my rest of my day. I went this morning, did leg press and Smith's front squats, and by the time I'd finished my Smith front squats, I had lifted so hard and heavy that my head started hurting. It's a pretty frequent occurrence for me. My blood pressure skyrockets sometimes when I'm lifting. Not because I'm not breathing. I do breathe. It's just I'm pushing myself so hard that I get a headache. So that kind of sucks. Diet's been on point. I've had a couple instances where I've ran out of some things that I usually eat. Like I ran out of beef the other day, so I had to use eggs. And that really sucked because the volume that requires, or the volume of eggs that required me replacing my beef was ridiculous. So that kind of sucked. But overall, it's been pretty good on point. I have noticed that pumpkin and other things like that that are higher in fiber make me bloat really bad and give me a lot of gas. So that kind of sucks. But yeah. One thing I did want to talk about during this little vlog is respect to other people and understanding where they're coming from. I met Flex Lewis earlier this week, which was freaking amazing, man. He's been my favorite bodybuilder for a long time, and meeting him, I knew that he worked out at the gym I go to, but I never really got the chance to meet him. And I saw him in there the other day, and I was speechless, man. I was like, wow, he was huge. And then he turned around, and I realized it was him. So I literally stopped in the middle of my workout and went and introduced myself and spent like 10 and 15 minutes with him and the guy who does management at the Olympus there, and just hung out and talked. So that was really cool. But I posted about it in the IFBB forum, and generally I wasn't expecting a whole lot of great feedback. I don't really care what people say, but this douchebag Tough92, he came in and was talking shit about my size. He asked me, do I even lift? Serious. And like I said, I could care less what people think of me. I do my best with what I've got, and I give my 100% no matter what. I got a poster of Lane saying nobody outworks you right next to my door, and I make sure to look at that every time I go out the door. And, you know, something like that's not going to bother me, but it's the sheer fact that he feels the need, that people feel the need to exert a dominance over the internet. I mean, for Christ's sake, it's the internet. Nobody goes on there to be macho unless you're a freaking loser in real life. So, you know, it kind of pissed me off at first because I do work so hard, but then, you know, after I think about it, it's dumb of him. And I got a real big retaliation response from the people in that forum. You know, I got like 4 pages worth of, dude, you're an idiot, and posting pictures of this Tough 92 guy and whatever. But it comes down to respect. And I'm a big fan, I'm a big proponent, I should say, of mutual respect. You know, I don't like it when people disrespect other people because it only shows a lack of intelligence in another person. For instance, if I were to go up and say somebody's painting sucks at an art gallery, that would be dumb of me because, first of all, I can't paint with this shit. I could show you a picture that I painted and it just looks like a kindergartner drew it. But the fact that I'm disrespecting him just shows ignorance on my part, because what I think may look like shit may look great to somebody else. So, yeah. But, you know, being on the internet and trying to belittle somebody because they aren't as good as you think they should be or aren't as good as you think you are just shows you that you're ignorant. I mean, he was basing that off of one picture of me, and not a very flattering picture as you know, as well. So, yeah. But yeah, enough of that rant. Weighed in at 154.4 this morning, which was identical to the past 2 weeks. So, maintenance right now is what I'm eating at, apparently, for my activity level anyway. My activity level is probably going to go up a little bit when school starts, so I'll probably bump my calories here the next week or so. I'm eating roughly around 2,530, 2,560. It fluctuates with measurements and things like that, and what I'm snacking on. There's a lot of condiments I don't count, so it's kind of variable. But I have been maintaining at 154.4. I haven't really noticed a difference in my physique as far as the past few weeks, so I'm assuming it's a true maintenance and not sort of a false maintenance where I'm, you know, holding water and losing weight, or maybe gaining fat and just, you know, really dry. Just, yeah. So what will probably happen is I'll up my calories. I'm not going to up them a whole lot. I don't really want to gain too fast. You know, I'm not at very low body fat right now to begin with, so I don't want to get too far away from potential contest shape. And that just goes back to, you know, self-preservation. I don't want to ruin my hormone levels any more than they already are when I do start to cut down. So I go for blood work at the end of this month to get my testosterone levels checked again. And if they go the way I think they're going to go, which shows me to have low test again, probably what's going to end up happening is I'm going to end up on testosterone replacement therapy, which really sucks because it disqualifies me from any natural competitions. And the only thing I really can say about that is I'm very disappointed in the fact, because I pride myself in being natural. You know, it's something different when you stay natural versus non-natural. It's more of an accomplishment, I guess you'd say. So that really sucks. But that's probably about it for now. I'm sure I'll see something on bodybuilding.com within the next week that I want to update about next week. So until then, that's pretty much it. I think next week I'll continue to talk about some of the things in my life and update you and get you up to speed with where I'm at. So until then, adios.